Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming today. My name is Andrew. I'm a principal software engineer in Harman International. And today I would love to talk a little bit about server-driven UI and routing using Firebase. Yes. But first of all, let me explain why this topic was interesting to me and may be useful for you. As you may notice, I'm a not native English speaker, and I'm still learning and studying English constantly. At some point of time, I realized that I want to systemize, organize all the data, info, and everything that my teacher has, my English teacher has. And as a developer, of course, I didn't find any other English learning application that fit my needs. So we decided to build our own. And as you can see, one of the problems was how to store and show the data, especially we have a lot of widgets and text widgets, so how to store and show them. Of course, the simplest way will be just to hard code it into the app, but I wanted to make it the way so my teacher can easily edit info or change it, remove, or even add some new pages to the application. But before I show you my solution, I want to talk what else we have on the market and what pros and cons they have. So I split them into three categories, and the first one is a JSON or declarative schema-based solutions like Stack or Flutter dynamic widget. They provide you actually a whole library of custom components or widgets, and their representation is saved on the servers as a JSON schema, and then you can retrieve it and align with the real widgets. So the pros of it, it's already pre-built for you. You don't need to do anything. It's wide widget support, has wide widget support. Some of them are open source with pretty good documentation, but some of them paid. And the cons are, you depend on them. There is not everything that you might want from the library. It may be overkill for simple use cases, and it's actually required a framework-specific patterns to learn. So that's how Stack, a super quick observation how the Stack work. So we have two options how we can define our widgets. So we can go to the service console and just wrote our JSON schema with the data, or we can write the widget using Stack widgets, then deploy it, and the service will automatically translate it to the JSON schema. And to use it into your app, you just use Stack. Of course, you need just connect everything, dependencies and all other stuff. But you can just use a Stack widget with identifier, and that's it. The next category is widget serialization-based solutions, like remote Flutter widgets. So remote Flutter widgets actually serialize and transmit almost real Flutter widgets. Definitions, I will explain why almost later. Pros of it, it uses almost native Flutter system, Flutter widget system, support complex widget trees. It's open source, of course. It has limited widget support, performance overhead because we need to parse and deserialize these widgets. It's harder to debug, and of course, again, it may be overkill for the simple use cases. And this is a quick overview how it works. So you need to define a text file with a widget, and as you can see on the top screenshot, the values for some parameters are in a JSON-like or string format. This is why I said they almost Flutter widgets. Then you need to encode it and upload it to the server. And after it, in the app, you can download it any way you want and use remote widget to interact and show it. Okay, so and the last approach is a custom data JSON-based implementation like our solution. So it literally means that we control all ourselves. So JSON schema, how we will show, how we will interact, everything is custom. The pros of it, it has a full control over architecture. It's tailored to our specific needs. No external dependencies, can be optimized for your use case. But it actually has some cons, requires maintenance, complex UI interaction can be challenging, and you need to handle edge cases yourself. So I split my solution into like 5 layers. And the first layer is a configuration layer, the Firebase Firestore. And I think Firestore is actually a pretty good solution for here because of its document-oriented database allow us to save literally any kind of model into sub-collection or collections. The next layer is a service layer where we just read everything from the Firebase and stream it to the next layer, to the state management. In my case, it's a river pod, but you can use whatever you want. Then we have a content mapper. This is a layer where we map actual models that we receive to the our widgets. And the dynamic page, it's actually where we render everything that we see on the screen. So let's take a look a little bit about the structure of the documents. So each page has metadata like title and back button style. As well, it has a sub-collection of components. Each component has required fields like enabled, position, type, and its specific data fields. Yeah, don't be confused. I use Firefoo, so this is a little bit different representation. It's just easier to manage the Firebase. Yeah, so, and some components actually has action fields. It's actually map field, which has reference to the document, navigation type, and page type. That is actually the key to our dynamic routing. So the next layer is a service layer. Nothing too complex. I just merged 2 streams from the document like the main document and the document subcollection, and then pass it to the next layer. Again, nothing too complex, just a river pod. Here I separate some components to different parameters and move it forward to the UI. So for the components, I use Freezed. Again, at this case, it's very, very convenient because I use Freezed with a union key. So like it parses your model easily, your JSON easily to model, so yeah. Next, so after we parsed everything, all these models go to the component mapper. Simple widget where we map each model to its corresponding widget. And the last but not least, dynamic page. So this page actually it's actually receive a reference of the page and render every component that we receive from the page we parse. Okay, and this one that I already told, so the routing. So some components may have action map field, which has document reference. Document reference should be always, in my case, should be always connected to the page. We have navigation type where we can declare like how we want to push page, place page, or anything else. And page type. Right now I have only info page, but in some future I have some practice page as well. Okay, and let me show how it works live. I will put it here. Okay. So on the right side, we have launched application. This is a menu with stances. I can go inside. And I prefilled only present simple right now. I can go inside and choose any topic, move forward and backwards with these actions that I've told about. And let's create something new. So for introduction, I don't have any page right now. So I just need to create a document. Let's call it new page. For the metadata, we need to at least a title. Then we need to create a subcollection. In my case, it should be called components. And for the component, we will create required field enable. So enable field and tells us should we show or not this component. Then we have a position field, which defines the position on the screen. The type, define the type of component. Right now we will use plain text component. And its specific field is called text. And we will write hello San Francisco. So the next thing, we need to get the reference path and put it into the action doc reference field. And if I did everything right, if I go to the introduction, nothing happens. I'm curious if we have an internet. Let me. Do we have any internet restrictions here? Sorry? I need, okay. Okay. If let me try to restart it. Probably it will help. Oh, yeah. Notification. So it works. Yeah. And if we change it, sorry, this page, so immediately shows, so my teacher can immediately edit any page, any info with any information. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you so much.